Washington Pod presents Earl Nightingale.
My old friend Dr. L.D. Pankey of Coral Gables, Florida, recently returned from a trip through the Orient. All the time he and Betty were abroad, they kept me up to date on their travels with the unique and interesting newsletter they send back to their stay-at-home friends whenever they're traveling, which is, well, for a couple of months every year. I received a letter from him the other day asking me when I was going to come down to Florida and join him in some bone fishing in the Keys. In answering his letter, I remembered something that had happened in his office many years ago that had made a deep impression on me. I was looking at a picture of one of the classes that he conducts each year for men of his profession from all over the world, and in studying the photograph, I realized that I was seeing some of the same faces I'd seen in other photographs of earlier classes he'd held. So I said, "I noticed many of the same people took your course this year who took it a year ago. What did you teach this year that you didn't teach last year?" And his reply surprised me. He said, "Nothing. I teach the same thing every year, not only in this country but abroad as well. Oh, I add to it each year as I learn new things, but basically it's the same course every year." Well, I was amazed. "Do you mean you teach the same things to the same people all over again?" "That's right," he answered. And seeing my surprise, he laughed and asked me a question that stopped me completely. He said, "When you find your golf game isn't as good as you'd like it to be, or suddenly find the ball isn't going where you want it to go, and you can't put your finger on what's wrong, what do you do?" I told him, "Well, I go back to the pro for some lessons." And he said, "That's right. And what does he teach you? Does he teach you something new about the game, something you didn't know at some time before? Or does he merely remind you once again of the basic fundamentals, which, if you'll but be guided by them, will result in your getting the kind of score you'll be happy with?" Well, he had me, and it made me remember the old saying that we need reminding as much as we need educating. That's why these principles are so important. It applies to becoming good at anything. It's as important to living successfully as it is to playing a satisfactory game of golf or practicing medicine or dentistry. We need to be reminded from time to time, and the more regularly the better, of the basics, the fundamentals upon which everything else is built. The good home may look different from all the other homes on the street, but its foundation followed the rules for any good foundation, and so did its construction. Do it right the first time, and it'll stand for as long as we need it. If we build our lives and what we do during our days on truth and justice, we'll build the kind of lives we can be proud of, that will take us to the goals we seek in good time without worry or frustration. But we do need reminding. You might remember that bit about the golf pro. He doesn't teach you anything new, but he reminds you of some of the basics you've forgotten and helps you rid yourself of some bad habits.